Hey there, you filthy animals. Mr. Dirty, back with another episode of the GTM show. Today, we got Checkers back on the show again. Maybe you got Rallies where you live. Either way, they've got a new cheeseburger on the menu, and this is reminiscent of something that's pretty famous on the other side of the U.S. from me. Speaking of where I'm at right now, we're ready to get into the swing of things around here and start firing up the old GTM machine. We get Dorian rolling in out of nowhere and just grinded the Bahamas about, I would say, less than 100 miles due east of where the studio is right now. We're pretty used to the hurricanes around here, but yeah, this was a pretty bad one. A couple scary days there as it just sat there grinding. We didn't know if it was going to come this way or not. We were well prepared, though. We did take a couple days off to deal with that. We have anything happen around here, but yeah, it was pretty brutal what happened to the Bahamas. They're definitely in our thoughts. A lot of my clients, they fly in or boat in from the Bahamas, do custom framing with me. Send them whatever support you possibly can. Back to today's show, though. Yeah, Checkers. How many of you have heard of the Juicy Lucy? Probably most of you, if you're foodies and you watch any of the stuff from like the Travel Network or the Food Network, they always show like documentaries about the Juicy Lucy and the two restaurants that are always fighting over like who invented it, blah, blah, blah. And here we go. We got Checkers/Rallies bringing in their version of that. And they're calling this the loaded cheeseburger, I do believe. We can just jump right over to their website real quick. Okay, yeah, the cheese loaded burger. Says you're not here because you're looking for an average burger. That's why we created the cheese-loaded burger. It's everything you've ever dreamed of, filled with all the cheese you can imagine. Do we have an actual description, though? Cheese-loaded burger. Checkers' new molten cheeseburger, made with two juicy, hand-seasoned 100% beef hamburger patties, sandwiched around thick-cut melted pepper jack cheese, and topped with more melted cheese, crispy onion tanglers, crisp iceberg lettuce, a slice of tomato, dill pickles, ketchup, mayonnaise, mustard, served on a toasted bakery-style bun. Got a lot going on there. I'm not quite sure like what version of this. It says pepper jack cheese, and as I'm going through the drive-thru, I'm looking at all these different signs. There's like a bacon version of it. There's a spicy queso version of it. So I'm not quite sure what we're about to look at. It is here in this wrapper looking pretty big, and I'm not quite sure how much this ran. I didn't get a receipt, so I don't know exactly how much this burger cost by itself or the meal cost. Regardless, let's get into this. All right, so you ready to get a look at this sloppy mess of a burger here? This is the the cheese-loaded burger, pardon me, from Checkers Rallies. There you go. There's a better look of this mess. Yeah, what a dumpster fire this thing looks like. Pretty typical, though. Looks like possibly the Big Buford looks something messy like this. We can pop this hood back and see what we got going on. Looks like we've got come on, focus. Cover my face up. There we go. All right, so on the top, looks like we got the red onions. Those aren't supposed to be there. In fact, those were listed nowhere in the description for any of these burgers. Supposed to be onion tanglers. We got our, we got some slippage going on there. We got bacon. See cheese, lettuce, tomato. You have to hurry this up. Definitely see the ketchup, see the mayo. Somewhere in there is a patty. Maybe we can just flip this over. Maybe we can, oh wow, that just happened. Blop, blop. All right, and there's a look at the bottom of it, flipped upside down with the bottom lid taken off. And yeah, it's just two patties. And they've just thrown some cheese like in between them. That's all we really got going on here. It's not like a Juicy Lucy at all. They didn't crimp the edges and make like a cheese pocket or anything like that. Basically, all this is, from what I'm looking at, is a double cheeseburger. What a letdown. I'm going to cut this thing in half so we can get a look at a cross-section. All right, and there you go. There's a look at a cross-section of this thing, and it doesn't make it look any better, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it looks more like the picture that you would see in the promo shot as far as looking at the beef and the cheese bit right here. But yeah, after seeing that they didn't even seal the edges, it's literally just a double cheeseburger with cheese in the middle, cheese on top. It's nothing that the Big Mac hasn't been doing for years here. So yeah, still quite disappointed right now. All right, down the hatch with Checkers' new cheese-loaded burger. Here we go. Okay, overall, not bad, but it's not great. It's everything that you would expect from Checkers. So if you've ever had like a champ with cheese or a checker burger with cheese, a big Buford. What's the other one that they have? Is that the place that has the Baconator, Baconzilla? Pretty much this is the overall flavor. It's everything that you would expect from Checkers, except for the cheese that they've stuck in between the patties, the pepper jack or the queso. It's very creamy. There's a bit of pepper action going on there, so it's got like a smokiness, a little bit of a heat to it. I wouldn't even go as far as saying it's spicy. It just got like a slight heat. But that right there, though, the pepper jack, it's the only difference separating this from anything else that you'd get on the menu like year-round. So possibly you're already a fan of Checkers. You might love something like this. But if you're not the biggest fan of Checkers, I don't think the addition of a cheese, like a particular type of cheese, I just don't see it being the icebreaker that's going to get you running down to Checkers to try this out. The promo shot, making it look like a Juicy Lucy. That's what got us to go down there and look for this thing. But now, as I've seen what it actually is and I've tasted what it is, yeah, I'm thoroughly disappointed, compounded with the fact that even with like at least 3 days this thing's been on the menu nationwide, and they still can't get it right. What I'm getting at by that is we saw that it's got this kind of onion on there. You know, the typical Checkers onion that they put on everything. This was supposed to have the onion tanglers. They're not there. As we looked at it, as we cracked the lid open and looked under the hood beforehand, and even though now that I'm eating it, they're just not there. Also, the bacon, it's thoroughly cooked, but it's 50% fat, 50% meat. We're not even dealing with a quality bacon here. So yeah, the only good thing going for this burger right here is the pepper jack queso that they have. So I'm gonna have to let this slide out of here today. The Checkers cheese loaded burger, I'm giving this a low 3 out of 5. All right, so yeah, once again, there you have a half-ass tossed together loaded cheeseburger, cheese-loaded burger, pardon me, from Checkers Rallies. Run out and get yours today. I'm Mr. Dirty. This is the GTM Show. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at The Real Mr. Dirty. As always, get out of here. Go have a rotten day.